Hello and welcome to YemmyCast, a video game podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. How is everyone doing today on this glorious Wednesday? Right now I'm recording this on Tuesday, November 5th, but this will upload on the 6th. So there you go. There's the background information for you. As always, thank you so much for coming to this episode of the podcast that's premiering on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, thank you for showing up to any other platforms as well. I appreciate you nonetheless. Sometimes, eventually, there will be a episode on Sunday at 9:30 a.m., but right now it seems like we've been skipping out on a few. So hopefully this weekend we'll have time to do our weekend episode, but we shall see. Fubar Ferret, now available on multiple platforms right now. If you want to, you can check that out. Links are always in the description. And I put up my first review in a while, my first Yemmy reviews in a while, so if you want to, you can check that out. The game was given to me for free a long time ago, and I decided to finally do something about it. The game's called Earth Atlantis, so make sure you check out that video on the channel as well. Hey, let's jump right into it, because we are officially doing our review for Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Notice how I didn't say Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Yes, I'm still making that joke. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the game with the same name of another, has broken box office records. That's right, $600 million made in the first 3 days of the game being out. It's the biggest Call of Duty launch of this generation, which has sold better than both Black Ops 4 and Infinite Warfare. Huh, who could have guessed? A lot of people are, of course, buying this game who have not bought a Call of Duty in a long time, simply because it's Modern Warfare. And a lot of people are hoping that Infinity Ward would get back to the Modern Warfare roots, especially after the disaster that was Ghosts and, of course, the lackluster Infinite Warfare, even though I enjoyed both those games slightly more than all of the Treyarch games that have come out, but that's another story for another time. Modern Warfare has set new records on the PlayStation Network for the highest digital pre-orders and the highest 3-day digital sales ever on the PlayStation 4. So obviously, it's a hit. It's a hit, guys. Oh, I didn't even plug in my my sound effects. It's a hit, guys. Congratulations, Infinity Ward. You've done it. You have made a game that's actually worth... Oh, wait. I'm getting reports here that the game might possibly be not that good. That is right. I'm getting reports in right now that the game may actually have some problems. Let's go over to our news correspondent, Yemmy the Ferret. Well, thanks, Yemmy. So, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, when it first came out, the campaign was great. The campaign was beautiful. I played through the campaign in the span of 6 to 7 hours. I was having a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of great levels in there, including the saga. That's right, the saga of the embassy, and then the defending the embassy and using the little laser pointer to call in rocket strikes. It was really fun. There was also later episodes where you're going room to room in houses, and you're trying to decide who to shoot and who not to shoot. There was one level that kind of annoyed a lot of people, which is the one that's completely at night. There's so many checkpoints that you'll get a checkpoint right before an enemy shoots you, or throws a grenade, or the Jeep sees you, which can be annoying, but for the most part, I enjoyed the Modern Warfare campaign, and I will say that it's probably the best part of this game. It's shorter than all the others, I believe. I think there's less boom impact during this campaign as from the other ones. We're working with characters who we know. I dropped something on the floor. We're working with characters that we know from the Call of Duty lore, saga, I guess you would say. And essentially, you kind of know who's going to live and die in this game from the get-go. But I will say this. It has its moments where you're not sure. A lot of the levels they have these really long cutscenes that look beautiful and they play out really nicely. And during the campaign, there's a lot of like different gun attachments, stuff like that. There's one level where you use a special sniper rifle that can blow tires off of vehicles, which is really fun. Which is a really cool level. Kind of reminded me of like those levels that were back in the day where you just use a sniper rifle and you just sniped around for a little while. Lots of fun there. So let's move away from the campaign, though, because I already said campaign is really good. If this game had a little bit longer campaign, I think it would be perfect. But I feel like this was good. It's kind of set up Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare at the end of it. No spoilers, of course, but it kind of set all that up. I was fine. I was excited about the rest of the game. I was excited to continue the story, quotations, in the Spec Ops mode, and I was excited to get back into multiplayer because I hadn't played it much. So the first thing, of course, that I wanted to get into was Spec Ops, and here's my problem with Spec Ops. One, it's a separate download. There's 2 different downloads that you have to download just to play Spec Ops in general, which they didn't tell you that, 1. And 2, this shit should be on the disc or in the initial download. Doesn't make any sense. It's about 20 gigs of data extra to add to the game just to play Spec Ops, which is a mode that is in the game already. Okay, fine. I download Spec Ops. Okay, I want to play Survival while I'm waiting for Spec Ops to load. Oh, hold on there, Sonny. You gotta download a 6 gigabyte patch to play Survival. Oops. Guess I forgot to tell you that. So you have to download everything for Spec Ops and Survival modes. There is nothing that you can play without downloading something, which is kind of disappointing to me. So then let's start up Spec Ops, I said. Okay, so this says you have to have 4 players. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, raggy. Right? I don't want to play Spec Ops with people I don't know. And of course, I was proven right that I don't want to play Spec Ops with people I don't know. When me and my friend Nick, Greedy Waffle, shout out, played Spec Ops, we had 2 people in our party. One guy stood in the back and sniped the whole time, and the other guy kept going down so much that it ended up just fucking us over. Screwing us over, even. The Spec Ops modes, I am not having a good time with. The fact that you have to have 4 people, I mean, you have to have 4 people who are actively working with you to get through these levels, because they spawn enemies like crazy in these levels. I mean, it was just an endless onslaught of enemies, and it was ridiculous because we run out of ammo in our main guns, run out of ammo in our secondary guns. Okay, what the hell am I supposed to do? You go around picking up weapons from the enemies, and of course their guns are laying in the open, and you run out of bullets in those guns. You have to pick up a different gun. It all just kind of kept going and going until we all just gave up. It was not worth it. We got to the point in the first Spec Op where you had to disable the jammers or whatever. We did one, and it was painful, and then we went to the second one that's like under a bridge, and it just turned impossible. Just enemies came from every single direction. There was no break in the enemies. And when you started up the process of disabling it, even more came out. And I was just so disappointed because Spec Ops to me was like 2-player co-op is perfect for those kind of things. And you know, the levels were so meticulously designed and so easy to do your own thing during them, or you know, if they want to do a specific thing, it fits so nicely in with the Modern Warfare style. And the levels for Spec Ops just don't fit in with anything. It just feels like a survival mode. There is the option to play Spec Ops solo Spec Ops, but when I pressed solo Spec Ops, it launched a survival mode. It was literally just a survival mode, and I was very, very confused. I don't know if I just did something wrong, but I clicked on Spec Ops solo, and it just took me straight to a survival map, where you had to survive on top of the roof with the sniper rifle, kind of like the level in the campaign. And I was so confused. I was like, what is going on? So then I clicked on survival mode, and you know, survival mode's fine. I enjoy survival mode. I'm a big horde mode guy, you know, Gears of War and all that. I love playing horde mode in those games because, you know, it's you know, play a few waves, have some fun, you know, restart every so often. You know, it works fine in this one. I feel like Modern Warfare 3 compared to Modern Warfare for the survival mode, they equal out. You know, they're fine. But Spec Ops is definitely worse than Modern Warfare 3 and way worse than Modern Warfare 2. I didn't enjoy Spec Ops 3 too much in Modern Warfare 3, but going back and looking at those maps now and the Spec Ops now, I go, oh, actually that wasn't too bad. I do enjoy Spec Ops from Modern Warfare 3, but it just wasn't as good as 2. But damn, if Modern Warfare 3 just dropped the ball entirely, I don't know what to say. So let's move on from Spec Ops to my most played game mode, which is multiplayer, of course. Multiplayer is just... you have good days, you have bad days, and you have good matches and you have bad matches. Well, it seems like I have about one good match a day now, which I don't know why that happens. Maybe the game loads me up with it seems to load you up with a new cast of people every time you load up the game, which can be annoying. Lobbies change so often, it's really annoying. The crossplay is laggy and buggy as hell. I've been seconds behind people when running through doorways or chasing them down, and they'll turn around and just kill me because I'm, on their screen, I'm way back there, or, I didn't even start firing my gun. Less of that happens when I turned off crossplay. I did test it. I've had crossplay off for the last few days now, just testing things out, and I get less of that, but I found that when you don't play crossplay, there's a lot of people who play solo on the PS4 who just camp in corners, have run with the freaking Olympia, that stupid shotgun, and just the inconsistencies of the weapons too just are really bugging me as well, because I've been using that first shotgun and I'll get one hit kills from 5 meters out, 1 meter out. I mean, it's ridiculous how much the damage rates change. And I've strayed away from using the overpowered as hell Olympia because it just makes me feel bad going through these maps and killing these people one hit from what seems like a good mile away. You can kill people with it. If you put on the slug rounds, I think they're called slug rounds, I mean, you can snipe people. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it really just ruins the experience for me personally to, have 4 hits on a guy. I just need one more hit, but he turned around in time and fired off his shotgun, and boy, oh boy, if he hits you with one pellet, you're dead. So balancing issues in the game are really stripping it down. Lag issues in the game with the crossplay is also stripping it down as well. I'm enjoying the gunsmith. The gunsmith is amazing. I feel like there's way too many levels for the guns. Like, I feel like a few attachments could have been to the same level. And also leveling up your camos is a little bit annoying because you have to wait to level up your camos until you unlock the specific camo. So that kind of annoys me a little bit personally. I don't know if it was like that in the other ones. I think it was just getting headshots in Modern Warfare 3. And I think the, Black Ops 2 or something like that? You unlock them from the get-go or after you prestige one time. I forget. But, the multiplayer has been really, really frustrating with right now. I'm playing right now to just try and level up and use different guns, and I keep going back to the same weapons because the new guns I unlocked, they aren't better than the base guns that you get. The AUG and the P90 are dominant over the MP5 and the Uzi. The 141 and the M4A1 are dominant over all the other assault rifles. Maybe not the Odeon, but no one really uses the Odeon because it has such a slow fire rate. I've tried using like the FAL and stuff like that. They just don't mesh with me. I haven't unlocked the AK or the M14. Is it? What is it called? I haven't unlocked that gun yet, but I know that I'll just go back to the 141 and the M4A1 depending on the situation because they're just so ungodly good. Shotguns. I mean, the Olympia or the 754, whatever it's called, beats all the other shotguns. Don't even try using the Origin or anything like that. I really miss the AA-12. I feel like the AA-12 would have been a good fit in this game, seeing as all the shotguns are overpowered as hell, but whatever. I haven't used any of the marksman rifles because I'm not a sniper, and I haven't used any of the other ones that I don't know what the other ones are called, just the sniper rifles, whatever they're called. and I have not used the riot shield. I used it a little bit when it was on that custom class or the pre-made class. Other than that, I haven't really used the shield. For secondaries, I mean, I just put that stinger type weapon on, the rocket launcher that locks onto targets. I tried using the Joker. And it just takes way too long for that missile to get to things. You know, if I'm just running around and I want to destroy a UAV, it takes at least a minute for that rocket to get to the UAV, and by the time it's already gone. So really only use that against vehicles, to be honest with you. I haven't tried any other rocket launchers. The pistols, pretty useless in the game, seeing as you're going to kill someone with one hit with a shotgun anyways. And I barely ever switch to my secondary in this game unless I completely run out of ammo, which is very rare. And even on those classes that I do run out of ammo a lot with, I have restock on, so or scavenger, I mean. But I have been using the M1911, of course, and the first pistol is pretty good. Haven't used the revolver or the other one yet. What else is a secondary weapon? I think those are it, right? I think there's only 2. Perks in the game. There's some perks that I really enjoy using. There's some perks that I really hate going up against. The one perk called Restock. If someone's running Claymores, they have an unlimited supply of Claymores, which is really annoying. I feel like they should put an addendum to that saying not, only throwables, not placements, something like that. That would have been nice. I've been using Scavenger, of course. I have been using Restock for my shotgun class for the Molotovs, I love Molotovs in this game. They can be a little underpowered at times, but I feel like they're fair. I've been using the frag grenades, of course, and the Semtex because, classic stuff there. For perks, I was talking about perks. I do have Shrapnel on, I think, and the Ghost ability as well, just because it's like so many personal UAVs and UAVs come up, it's impossible not to use those. For my what are they called? The deployable shield and stuff like that. I use the trophy system. It's the most useful of the items. I tried using the other ones. No one ever picks up ammo from the restock supply bin. No one ever, goes behind your cover or anything like that. It just gets blown up right away. Kill streaks. I think the kill streaks are pretty good. I think that the Harrier jet, the VTOL, I think whatever it's called, the jet that kind of hovers, I forget what it's called for some reason. I feel like that has too much health, and it's only like a 5 kill streak or something like that, or 6. I feel like it could have used less health, because it's lower than the chopper gunner, and I feel like I destroy chopper gunners before I destroy VTOLs. I don't understand. Haven't seen a gunship yet, but I have seen an emergency airdrop. The perks are back for like score streaks and stuff like that. You can turn on score streaks. But they're under the same perk base, which is kind of annoying to me. Other than that, multiplayer has been hit or miss. I haven't used this one in a while. It's really like one game I'm doing great, I'm having fun. The next game I'm frustrated and I'm ready to quit. And when I do quit, I just go straight to Outer Worlds because I'm having a lot of fun with that. But it's really disappointing to me that the game has so many issues with it. And I initially booted up the game, and I was like, hell yeah, this is great. I don't understand why people are complaining. And then as I keep playing it, I just start liking it less and less, which is kind of scary because initially I thought it was the best Call of Duty they made, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, but this is bad, and this doesn't work, and this is laggy, and these guns are overpowered, and these maps. Oh, let me talk about the maps with you guys. Ooh, let me get a little bit close here. The maps are garbage in this game. There's only like 3 maps I tolerate playing on. The St. Petersburg one. There's that train station one. And then there's this, what is it called? I just played the game yesterday. Like, I forget these map names. The one with the cave system, I like that one too. But all these other maps, like Piccadilly and the bridge map and the one that's like at a farm, they're just so big. And there's the one I hate the most is that one with the dome in the middle. I decided that's my least favorite map because on that map you have vehicles, you have quads to get you to the action. And it's like if a map, this is Call of Duty, right? This is fast action. I'm going to quote the Chaotic Punisher. This ain't Battlefield. This is not Battlefield. This is Call of Duty. And he's right. It is Call of Duty. Call of Duty's always been fast action, get in the action, kill some guys, die, respawn. And what's happening is they've centered these maps around a certain type of player. They are telling you, yeah, it's okay to camp. Yeah, it's okay to set up a sniper rifle and just aim down this long segue of area. Yeah, this Piccadilly map, spawn camping is great. Go ahead and spawn camp these people because there's only one way to get out of this spawn point. That is what they are telling people to do with these goddamn maps, and they are so awful. They are so bad. It was brought to my attention through Twitter that there are at least 12 maps that were unused in the coding of Modern Warfare's code. Well, that was a dumb sentence, but they're there. Something's there. I don't know if it's future content or what. Like, these maps that you play with a 2v2, even though I don't like the 2v2 mode, they're fine. You get right into the action. You keep going. But all these other maps, they're meant for ground war, and yet there's only 1 or 2 ground war maps. Or is it 3? It's hard. I haven't played ground war that much. It's just the more I play this game, the more I get annoyed with it, and the more I understand why people are criticizing it. I don't know if they've fixed this yet, but all throughout the campaign mode, no matter what system I used or sound system I used, my sound bar, the TV sound, my headphones, the voices were all like very, very loud. They were like, it was the sound of like a blown out speaker when they were talking. And sometimes that happens even during multiplayer. I hear that. And it's not my sound system. I play other games just fine. And there's plenty of games where they're shouting, like Borderlands 3. Oh, salt the wound! Ah! This game has quickly become one of those games that's like, yeah, it came out. Meh. It's fine. It's getting less and less, though. It's not fine anymore. It's more like it's not good, but it's not bad. That's what I'm getting at right now. Is it better than the last game, Black Ops 4? Yes. Is it better than Infinite Warfare? I'll get back to you on that one. Because Infinite Warfare, I feel like, had a better campaign. The multiplayer wasn't as good, but the zombies mode was actually kind of fun. Is it better than Call of Duty World War II? No. Call of Duty World War II is way above this game, in my opinion. Except for the zombies mode, I feel like World War II did everything correct. Is it better than Modern Warfare 3, 2, 1? No. Remastered? No. Right now, this is my least favorite Modern Warfare game, and it's dropping quickly the more I play it. Like I said, these maps they cater to that style of play that just you made fun of in the other games because it was like 1 or 2 people like hiding in a corner. Oh, it's a dark corner McDougal. Or, they're camping in one spot. Oh, where's your picnic? But now it's like, okay, this guy's been here the entire game and I can't kill him because there's only one way to get to him. And if I try to go the back way, he just has claymore set up. And every time one blows up, he can just set one down because he has restock. It's catering to the wrong type of player. And it's kind of annoying. That's all I gotta say. So thanks for listening. Let's move on to some actual news. So this one made me chuckle. Because of the image that the website used for this. A professional Fortnite player has been banned for life after uploading videos of himself cheating using aimbot. He's a member of FaZe Clan, and he says the ban didn't even cross his mind when playing the game. So Epic Games has placed a lifetime ban, that's right, a lifetime ban on the professional Fortnite player named FaZe Jarvis. He was found cheating in a series of videos he shared himself online on Twitch streams. He used aimbot to mess around in some matches. His FaZe Jarvis, aka Jarvis K, known in the Fortnite community as a member of the esports team FaZe Clan, shared the news online in a video released to his 2 million subscribers on YouTube. He notes that the ban has come in response to a series of his own videos in which he uses aimbots, which is a cheating software that improves your accuracy for shooting in a game. In his tear-filled announcement, Kay also said, "All I was thinking about whilst I was making these videos was just how entertaining and interesting these videos would be for you guys to watch. It didn't even cross my mind to think that I could be banned for life from Fortnite from these videos." He goes on to explain that he never used the cheats in a competitive game mode, and he was left in tears as he highlights the fact that he'll never be able to play Fortnite ever again. Despite his apology to Epic Games in the later half of the video that he posted, which can be found on his YouTube channel, which is Jarvis. Wow, just Jarvis. Oh, good luck finding that one. 2 million subscribers, so I guess you will be able to find it. So, yeah, despite the apology, there has been an outcry from his most dedicated followers who have started a hashtag called #FreeJarvis online on Twitter. Fortnite's terms and conditions are strict on the use of aimbot technologies, and all players agree to the risk of having their account deleted for cheating when signing up to play initially. Speaking to The Independent, Epic Games came out and said, "We have a zero-tolerance policy for the uses of cheat software. When people use aimbots or other cheat technologies to gain an unfair advantage, they ruin games for people who are playing fairly." It kind of blows my mind that someone like this would just throw away their livelihood pretty much just to make a few funny videos on YouTube using aimbot. I'm guessing I did not watch the videos, but I'm guessing he went around with aimbot, did some impossible moves on people, and they raged or something like that, and that was the content that he was getting. Not to quote the Joker, but you get what you deserve. I mean, you use aimbots in Fortnite, and they have a no cheating policy, and they find out, hey, he's using aimbots. You upload them to your channel with 2 million followers. Yes, of course, you're going to have some trolls in that 2 million followers who is going to send those videos directly to Epic Games. Are you stupid? I don't mean to, put him down or anything like that, but these are things that you have to think about when you're uploading videos online. You need to think about the consequences of your actions, and using aimbot to win matches for a funny video, that ain't gonna work, kid. Okay, it might be an entertaining video, but in the end, they're gonna find you. It's not hard to find you when you have 2 million subscribers and you're a popular Fortnite player, and the wrong person sees the video and they send it straight to Epic Games, or maybe a person from Epic Games himself just happens to see it because they're looking at people's content, and maybe the title of your video was using aimbot in Fortnite. This is bad. Let me go on to his YouTube channel. I'm not sure if he has those videos still listed. He probably took them down, to be honest with you. Oops, I did not mean to click that. So yeah, I don't think the videos are still on his YouTube channel. I mean, his channel thumbnails are really something else. Definitely a kid-friendly channel, I would think. I mean, look at these colorful images. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he took those videos down, or either that, or it was during one of his challenge videos where he was supposed to play with a shitty controller. He turned on aimbots to help improve himself while he's playing it. But yeah, I don't see how he's going to come back from this, and I don't see why Fortnite would unban him. I mean, yeah, you can say, oh, it was just a prank, bro, but this is jeez. I have not played much Fortnite, but I do remember seeing that in the terms and conditions, in the cheating section, I do remember reading, I didn't read the whole thing, but I did scroll through it, and I highlighted the fact that you use any cheating technology, your account is just going to be banned. Now, who knows if he could open up change his IP address or mask his IP address with a VPN or something like that, and start a new account and stuff like that. Maybe he could still get on Fortnite, but for now it seems like he's done. And of course, if more news comes in the future, I will definitely bring it up. He hasn't uploaded a video since the update video where he was banned from Fortnite. Obviously, sometime between last week and 2 days ago, or 3 days ago now, he got the message that he was banned. So, obviously, he's very distraught. Hey Jarvis, there's always Apex Legends. All right, speaking of, well, I guess not really speaking of anything. Speaking of Blizzard, I don't know. All right, so BlizzCon has come and gone. There were a few things mentioned about China, but for the most part, it went off without a hitch. Blizzard announced Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 at BlizzCon, whatever it's called. But we're going to talk about Overwatch 2 for right now. So Blizzard has no idea when Overwatch 2 is going to be released. They just wanted to make it great. And so as Overwatch 2 announcements are starting to pour in from BlizzCon, the last thing you want to do is pick up a copy of the Legendary Edition, because Overwatch 2 is going to literally just be Overwatch 1, and everyone who has Overwatch 1 is going to be able to play all content in Overwatch 2 anyways. So here's what Jeff Kaplan, who is the vice president of Blizzard, he said in an interview with VG247, "I don't have a date. It's not this year. That's a pretty safe answer. I have a feeling we'll be talking about Overwatch 2 again next year at BlizzCon, if that helps. I have no idea, like, just let us make it great. We don't have a date in mind. Like I mentioned, Overwatch 2 is still in development, and we have a long ways to go before this game is fully ready." So just a few quotes from him during the segments at BlizzCon. The game is going to be having a shared multiplayer update, which is also going to feature the same heroes, maps, and modes in PvP. There's also going to be a new campaign mode or something like that in the next game as well, which of course will be added to the regular game. So like I said, current Overwatch players, this is coming from Play Overwatch's website, current Overwatch players will battle side by side with Overwatch 2 players in PvP multiplayer. They'll also be able to play Overwatch 2 heroes and maps. So maybe the campaign mode will be stuck to Overwatch 2, but of course we'll have to wait and see about that. They're saying that no one gets left behind in this next game. The shared multiplayer also means that existing players' accomplishments and loot collections will be carried over across to the sequel as well, like your clothing and your weapon skins and your spray paints and your emotes and stuff like that. And seeing as the Overwatch just came to the Switch, this could be nice for people who don't have the income to buy Overwatch 2 if it comes out, let's say, next year or something like that, So you won't have access to the sequel's player versus PvE content, but you will have access to the PvP options, which is pretty nice for people, of course. So if you don't recall, Overwatch 2 was actually leaked previous to or before BlizzCon, and some employees have come out and said that it was demoralizing for the development team. They feel totally deflated. So, like many other announcements at BlizzCon, Overwatch 2 was leaked ahead of the opening ceremony. In a follow-up interview with Kotaku Australia, Overwatch lead designer Jeff Kaplan expressed how leaks can be extremely demoralizing for developers and explained how lack of context can often result in worst-case scenario concerns. When you're trying so hard to deliver something for somebody and to have it be spoiled in a way that's not coherent, that's the part that bothers us the most, where people are not given all the information and all the context that they need to understand what they're doing. So I guess this, I think there was pictures or something like that of Overwatch 2's logo and different things like that. The full video, I think, wasn't linked, but there were images from the video that were leaked. So when the leaks for Overwatch 2 first happened, there were immediate worries raised by the community in regards to progression and cosmetics carrying across, of course, and how the sequel would potentially divide the game's player base. And seen as all this new information has come out for it, those worries were squashed almost immediately. Kaplan also noted that the artists working on the PvE-focused entry were heartbroken when leakers began uploading low-quality screenshots to online. Our artists are heartbroken. They take such care to make the art look beautiful, and then we get some crappy version of what the art looks like, and then people are like, I don't know, it doesn't look good. I don't know, but it doesn't look good. Okay. And we're like, no, it does. It looks amazing. It's just crappy screenshots that someone took, so it can be a bit demoralizing. So, I haven't really thought about it, personally, the leaks for things. I don't know why people are so obsessed with leaks, for like Smash Brothers and Overwatch and stuff like that. Of course, there are people who are diehard fans who want to know every piece of information, but don't you want to be surprised? Like if E3 happened the next year and we knew exactly the order of the games, we knew what games they were going to be, what they were going to talk about, what would be the fun in watching E3? Just going, oh yeah, that I remember hearing about that. It's dumb. It's dumb. Like, maybe I would have liked this, I would like to have known Square Enix's plan, because they literally just, showed videos for old games in their E3 press conference. Not throwing shade, but I probably wouldn't have watched that one if I knew that. But yeah, it's interesting to see a developer actually respond to a leak. Also, Blizzard is bringing Overwatch 2 to the Nintendo Switch when it releases, but there is no release date yet for any consoles. Overwatch 2 will see players become heroes once again as they participate in 4-player co-op missions that challenge them to team up and power up and stand together against the overwhelming outbreaks of threats across the globe. From Xbox to Switch, everyone is able to play. So in a PR report about the new story missions, I guess we're not really talking about the main headline of this article. As the story progresses, players will team up with different sets of heroes to fight to defend the world for the Omnic forces of Null Sector, uncover the motives behind the robotic army's attack, and come face to face with rising new threats around the globe. The battle continues in hero missions, where the Overwatch team will be called upon to go beyond their limits as they deploy across the planet, defending cities against robot invasions, taking in elite Talon agents, and battling the villainous forces laying siege to the world. In this highly replayable mode, players can level up their favorite heroes and earn powerful customization options that supercharge their abilities in co-op play. So like I said in the last podcast, this is good because I thought Overwatch 1 was really lacking like a cohesive story for these characters. Yes, there were the opening cinematics and stuff like that, but having all these characters fighting each other didn't really make sense when they were all supposed to be a part of the same task force. Overwatch. So I'm glad that Overwatch 2 is adding some more story. I'm glad we're seeing some beloved characters coming back. Of course, you're going to see Tracer. She's Rule 34 to Out of Existence. And also Mercy made an appearance. So yeah, we'll see what Overwatch 2 and what it entails a little bit more in the future. But I think we have a good taste of what we're going to be getting. And we'll see when the release date is going to be. I'm expecting it to come out by the time the PS5 comes around. And then we'll see it come to all other consoles as well. But we'll have to wait and see. Are you excited for Overwatch 2? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, so Mario Kart Tour is making its next pit stop in Paris, complete with a new version of Peach and Shy Guy. So, if you're still playing Mario Kart Tour, which I'm sure a lot of people still are, starting at 10 p.m. Pacific time on November 5th, which is today, but they'll already be around tomorrow, Mario and company will be taking to the streets of Paris for more shell-throwing, speed-boosting, and slip-streaming adventures. You'll find famous landmarks such as the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe. Chronoside in the chat, let me know how to pronounce that. For you in Paris, promenade course. What? Am I glitching out? As well as new versions of both Princess Peach and Shy Guy. So Shy Guy, boy, I'd like to stick my wiener into his mouth. What? He's gonna have a new pastry chef version, and also there's a new vacation version of Peach where she's wearing kind of like a French outfit. So the new Shy Guy outfit, the chef, ooh, we love chefs around here. Pretty cool. So in it's a pretty interesting post. It's like a newspaper, what was he say? The first page of a newspaper, and it says Mario Kart Tour News, Paris Tour Grand Opening. Update, starting 10 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th Pacific Time, the Paris-themed tour will have its grand opening. The Paris Promenade course features famous landmarks like the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe. You'll be pretty busy racing through this beautiful city, but make sure to take in some sights while you can. Bonjour, everyone. A race unlike any other is about to unfold over the historic cobblestone streets. So yeah, kind of a cool update. I think this is a timed update, seeing as they said, seeing the sights while you still can. So make sure you tune in, grab your special versions of the characters, and tune out. Or keep playing. Alright, so the Nintendo leaker, Sword and Shield leaker, may have been caught. This hasn't been confirmed yet, of course, but it seems like the leaker who released a bunch of information about Sword and Shield has been caught. And why he's been caught? Well, I'll tell you guys. So, if you don't know, the recent leak of the Pokédex was released online through Discord. I'm not going to spoil anything because I don't want to make people angry. I have not seen the reports or anything like that myself, but if you want, you can see the Pokédex now. So, from a post from a Twitter user named KG Prestige, he claims that Nintendo employees have tracked down the leaker because of the profile picture they used on a Discord chat. The profile image was also used by the individual's YouTube channel, which allowed Nintendo then to reach out to a person or to reach the person's Facebook account. Sorry, I read that wrong. Which is also linked to the YouTube channel. And as we all know, Facebook is big on people using their real-world names, and this is apparently how Nintendo bagged the culprit. So, the person named @KGPrestige came out on Twitter and said, LMAO, from a single profile pic. Oh, I'm sorry, this is in all caps.
LMAO! From a single profile pic, they not only found the culprit, but the dude's channel, which connected to a Facebook thing, which showed his real profile identity, which revealed everything. If that isn't chain reaction of insanity, IDK, what is?
So we don't know if it's actually true or not. There hasn't been any legal action or any updates from Nintendo themselves, so I will keep you guys posted in the future. Alright, so let's move on to some new video games on the horizon. So, Balthazar's Dream is going to have you play as a dog on a mission to save its owner. It's like a 2D platformer with 10 levels. So let's see what this is all about. The game is going to follow the story of Dustin, a boy who goes into a coma after a tragic incident. His injuries are serious, but his faithful dog named Balthazar remains by his side, laying and sleeping alongside him at all times. One day, though, Balthazar has a dream where he senses the presence of two entities. He recognizes one as Dustin, but the other presence lurks menacingly in the darkness. Balthazar is sure that he is here to take Dustin away. And so our dog protagonist embarks on a quest to save his owner, making his way through all sorts of dreamy landscapes, confronting platforming adventures, and even shooter gameplay sections. Here's a list of features that are included on the game's page. There's going to be 10 levels, 3 dog fights with bosses, 5 different dog breeds to play with, launching your dog into space, emotional soundtrack, and challenging platformer segments. The game is going to launch on the 14th of November and will be available for about $10 if you want to pick it up from the eShop directly. It is kind of an interesting looking game. It's more pixel based than anything else, but you pretty much just play as a dog who wants to save his owner, and I think the story is actually pretty cool. Usually it's, you're finding your dog, but this is the dog finding you, like in Soviet Russia. Alright, so the action platformer called Blasphemous is going to get a limited run physical release, and the pre-orders are going to open up next week. So, the beautifully crafted Souls-like Metrovania action platform game Blasphemous, I read that from the website, I do not actually have any opinions about the game, is receiving a limited run game's physical release for Switch. The title was originally published for the Switch eShop and multiple other digital platforms by Team 17. 2-week pre-orders for the standard and collector's versions open next week on the 15th of November. The collector's editions will be priced for about $80. A foul curse has fallen upon the lands of Kstovdia and all the inhabitants, and it's down to you to free the world from this terrible feat. So limited run games, of course, is coming back with some physical editions. So the physical editions are just I think those are gonna be like $25. There's one for the PlayStation 4 and one for the Nintendo Switch, and those are gonna come out the 15th of November, of course. And then there's gonna be a limited edition of the game, which is gonna be $80, as I said. And the limited edition is going to come with Blasphemous for the Nintendo Switch or the PlayStation, original soundtrack for the game on a compact disc, double-sided 18x24 poster, a metal pin, a fine art print, an art book, and a 5-inch Mia Capella statue, which I believe is a sword in the game. So yeah, the game got high reviews, and it's interesting to see them come out with a collector's edition. And if you want to buy it, put in your pre-orders next week. Alright, so the studio behind the Beat Saber game is showing interest in developing something for the Switch. That's right. The developer behind the popular rhythm-based sword-slicing VR game called Beat Saber is teasing something that will apparently be revealed on the 7th of November, which is tomorrow. A Nintendo fan chimed in on his Twitter account and asked if the company's hit game was coming to the Switch, and the reply from the Czech studio was this: "We are definitely having something like this in mind for the future." So Beat Saber came out on Twitter and just posted a picture of a red block with a downward arrow, and it says November 7th. So this could mean that Beat Saber could be coming to the Nintendo Switch. I think the Joy-Cons would be perfect for this kind of game. You don't even have to wear a VR headset. I think it would be kind of cool. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright, so Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is now the best-selling fighting game in history with less than a year on the shelves. So with the release of Nintendo's latest financial results, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was confirmed to be not only the best-selling entry in the fighting series so far, but also having sold 15.71 million units but on the console as of the 30th of September 2019. It also climbed to number 2 on the Switch all-time bestsellers list, with only Mario Kart 8 Deluxe keeping it from the top spot. If the feat wasn't impressive enough, the sales numbers also take the game past the genre milestone. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is now the best-selling fighting game ever, taking over both the Street Fighter II game and the combined total of all the sales of Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. Wow. It also dethroned Smash Bros. Brawl, which is the best-selling individual fighting game released back in April. Trotting up the Street Fighter II figures, you can cause headaches thanks to a huge number of versions that have appeared across arcade and home hardware since 1991. Indeed, if you counted the copies of over 5 million Super NES Fandom Classic mini consoles around the world, Street Fighter II would still be the crown with over 20 million units sold, but we're not going to do that. So there you go. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is now the ultimate in fighting games. Alright, so Pac-Man is turning 40 next year, and Bandai Namco is planning to celebrate in style. Believe it or not, next year will be the 40th anniversary of Pac-Man, also known as Puck-Man, and Bandai Namco is planning a year-long series of celebrations in honor of the Yellow Blob. Pac-Man first appeared on the scene on the 22nd of May, 1980, rising to fame as an arcade star before shifting to home consoles, mobile devices, and even the Google Maps. Woo, that was a fun time. Now you'll find the series' titular character appearing in games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, sitting side by side with some of gaming's most iconic stars. A website has been set up to keep track of celebrations, promising activities, partnerships, and surprises, which will appear all throughout next year. Things have kicked off slightly early, though, with the Pac-Man 40th anniversary theme song called Join the Pack already being released. You can check it out on their YouTube channel, Bandai Namco Entertainment America. The track was composed and remixed by Ken Ishii. If you want to, check that out. Let's listen to just a smidge of that audio. And that's all we can show. The last game that came out in the Pac-Man series was Pac-Man Champion Edition 2+. So if you want to, you can check that game out and gear up for the Pac-Man 40th anniversary. Cool logo. The logo's the 4 is all the different ghosts, and then the O, the 0, is just Pac-Man. Pretty cool. Simple, yet effective. Alright, so the creator, or the dev team behind Sonic Mania, has started a Kickstarter for the next game called Vertabreaker. After the smash hit that was Sonic Mania, which brought the series back to 16-bit glory, along with Christian Whitehead and Pagaga West helping with that, developer Headcanon has launched a Kickstarter for a 2D platformer reminiscent of classic Mega Drive's titles from the early 90s. Vertabreaker sees you take control of a fallen hero who's been reduced to his bones, but has the use of a bone claw grappling hook, which helps him traverse levels in style. The game has been shown previously and uses Headcanon's Methyl engine to simulate the look and feel of its 16-bit inspirations. As you can see from the trailer, maintaining momentum through the swinging mechanics appears to be the gameplay hook here. Movement over the ground without the aid of a bony hookshot is relatively sluggish, so you have to master swinging through the retro levels if you want to keep up your speed. Headcanon's lead developer is Simon Tomley, better known as his alias Stealth on the internet. What a dumb alias. And he has plenty of experience with Mega Drive platformers. With Sonic Mania being such a well-received nostalgia trip, it seems that Headcanon is looking to do something similar with Vertabreaker. After a few seconds of the trailer, it's impossible to think of any system but Sega Genesis. If you're a fan of that console and games like Ristar and Dynamite Headdy, this could be right up your alley. Obviously, there's a ways to go, but the Kickstarter has only just launched, and the Switch port stretch goals sits at 330,000. You can download a PC demo via the game's Kickstarter page. to find out if Vertabreaker tickles your retro bone. That's a weird sentence. Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty neat. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge fan of the Sonic games, and Sonic Mania was just too fast for me. You gotta go fast, but damn, slow down there, Sonic. Let me get a whiff of those feet. Alright, Pokemon Sword and Shield is going to star the musical talent of Toby Fox, who is the creator of Undertale. He also helped with the game Little Town Hero. So Game Freak was actually the developer of Little Town Hero, so they reached out to Toby Fox to get his talents on a track for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Toby Fox came out on Twitter at Toby Fox and said, "Hey, I'm finally allowed to announce this. I was asked to compose the track for Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's a huge honor to be asked to be part of something like this. I hope you enjoy hearing it when it all comes out." He also drew a picture of like an Eevee type character with the quote, "In memoriam, Toby did a song for Pokemon 2019" on his tweet. Fox notes that he was asked to compose a track for the upcoming game, describing it as a huge honor. He goes on to say that, by the way, it's not like a main track or anything. I just thought it was cool. So one track by him would be cool, but I would like to see a whole Pokemon game by him. He does stellar work. Of course, everyone knows Megalovania, which is the theme song for Sans. Memed out of existence, but very popular. Also, other Pokemon Sword and Shield news, it's not going to support cloud saves. So the last game, which was Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, did not support the cloud saves either. But now it's been confirmed that Pokemon Sword and Shield will not support cloud saves on Nintendo Switch either. The news has come from the eShop listing for the two games. Pre-purchasing is now live if you want to. But other details found on the page include the confirmation that there is not going to be cloud support for Pokemon Sword or Shield. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit more tricky for people who are switching over to a mini console or something like that. We'll see if this causes any problems for people. Maybe you'll be able to store information on the game cartridge itself instead of doing a cloud save, but we'll have to wait and see. It's weird that they wouldn't put cloud saves in a Pokemon game. I find that very strange. Very strange. Let's say your sister comes around, not going to point any fingers, and overwrites your latest save because she wants to start a Pokemon game. Not speaking... Actually, I am speaking from experience. That would be nice to have an online cloud save. Alright, y'all know I love SteamWorld Quest, and y'all know I just can't not talk about any news that regarding this game. But this is big news because SteamWorld Quest is going to get a physical edition on the Switch, and pre-orders are going live next week. So Super Rare Games has today revealed that it's partnered up with Image and Form and Thunderful to release a physical edition of SteamWorld Quest Hand of Gilgamesh for the Nintendo Switch. The physical release has been on the cards since before the game even released, but it's nice to see that the day has finally arrived. Pre-orders for the physical edition will go live exclusively on the Super Rare Games website on the 7th of November, so I need to mark that on my calendar. So yeah, the cool thing is that this edition is going to come with... Well, let me go over what the edition comes with. Okay, so it's going to come with the game, a physical version of the game, of course. It's going to come with a interior art, full color manual. There's going to be an exclusive sticker and also a trading card pack, which is awesome because the game is based around cards. That's awesome. There's only 7,000 copies of the limited edition. So make sure you jump on to that if you are a big fan of SteamWorld games like I am. I loved SteamWorld Quest. I'm still playing through it. It's just amazing. I love it so much. I cannot believe it. So the physical version of the game is going to be on sale for about $32.32. I'm sorry, 22 cents. I apologize. We'll be able to. It will be shipping on the 11th of November. So there you go. There's a strict limit of only 2 games per customer for all of their releases. Any orders above this will be canceled and refunded. Cool beans. That is cool. I'm excited for this. I'm definitely going to be reminding myself to do that in the future. All right, so Netflix's The Witcher series. I know this podcast has been going on for a while. We still have a lot of stuff to cover. The Netflix Witcher series is going to get a December release date, and a new trailer is out on Netflix's YouTube channel, if you want to check that out. So it's going to be premiering worldwide on the 20th of December, which is a Friday, and all 8 episodes will be available immediately for the first season. They've already said there's going to be about 7 seasons to this Netflix show. And here's the official description for the show. Based on the best-selling fantasy series, The Witcher is an epic tale of fate and family. Geralt of Riviera, a solitary monster hunter, struggles to find his place in the world where people often prove more wicked than beasts. But when destiny hurtles him towards a powerful sorceress and a young princess with a dangerous secret, the three must learn to navigate the increasingly volatile continent together. Gee! So yeah, you can actually even set a reminder on Netflix for the show. And if you want to, you can go ahead and play Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt on pretty much every platform now. And it usually goes on sale. The complete edition was on sale for like $10 on Steam, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so in the new game called Simulacra, you're going to explore a missing woman's phone. It's an interactive horror experience that is kind of like Sarah is Missing. It's actually a spiritual successor. So, in the follow-up title to Sarah is Missing, the players are discovering a lost phone of a woman called Anna. On the phone, you can see a desperate cry for help in the form of a video message, and the phone behaves strangely as you dive deeper to investigate. You'll need to check out texts and emails and find clues in her photo gallery to find her before it's too late. So, here's all of the different features. Explore a fully realized world through the lens of a mobile phone. An expansive narrative with hours of gameplay that leads to 5 possible endings, a unique gameplay experience within a dating app, a social media app, a web browser app, and more, filmed with live actors and extensive voice-over cast, solve the reoccurring image and text description puzzles to learn more about Anna's story. The game is going to be able to download on the 3rd of December. Kind of cool, kind of interesting. I believe it's coming to all platforms, so if you want to, check it out. Alright, PlayStation Now. In November, the November update has added Persona 4 and some more games to the streaming service. As you know, God of War and Uncharted 4 are on it, and now, coming to PlayStation Now, you can now play Hollow Knight, Middle-earth: Shadow of War, and Persona 5. Remember, for a year-long subscription, I think it's like $100, right? And for a monthly subscription, it's about $10. So if you want to, you can check that out. Lots of good games on there. And all available to stream, download for practically for nothing, especially if you play all the games. There's no news on how long these games are going to be available in both North America and Europe. But yeah, they're joining a list of over 700 available games. So if you haven't played Persona 5, if you haven't played Hollow Knight, if you haven't played Shadow of War, now's your time if you have the PlayStation Now option. Shadow of War was alright. I wasn't like amazed by it, but I wasn't disappointed by it. Hollow Knight is a good roguelite Dark Souls type game, except it's a 2D it's kind of like Dead Cells. And then Persona 5 I've never played, but I've heard great things about it. Alright, so Cyberpunk 2077 is going to have twice as much Keanu Reeves as initially planned. The actor who plays the Italian role, Gianluca Rocco, has come out and said that his Italian dubs of Cyberpunk have doubled since Reeves has convinced the developer to give the character a much bigger part in the story. And it all came about because of Reeves' breathtaking unveiling at the E3 show. He's been expressing a lot of excitement for CG Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 in a bunch of multiple interviews, and it seems that Keanu Reeves is smitten with Cyberpunk as the internet is with him. So that's interesting news. Hopefully it's not going to affect the story so much that things are going to change drastically because Keanu Reeves wants more of a role in the game. But I think this is a good thing. I think more Keanu is a good thing. For now. Alright, if you didn't notice, the PlayStation Plus games for November are available to download now, and they are Nioh, and Outlast 2. 2 kind of spooky games for November. If you don't know, Nioh is a Souls-like experience where you are a samurai warrior. The difference between this and a Dark Souls type game is that there are multiple stances you can use which affect the way that your sword swings happen. It's pretty cool. I played through the first area. It's a lot of fun. And then Outlast 2 is the sequel to Outlast 1. Not direct sequel, but it is a sequel technically. It was not. I mean, I think it was reviewed pretty well, but I didn't enjoy it myself. I watched a few streamers play it who were not very impressed with it. It just didn't have the same vibe as Outlast 1, and it definitely is not going to have the same cult following as Outlast 1 in the future. So if you want to, you can try both games out right now, PlayStation Plus. Let's move on. All right, so Audica, the virtual reality rhythm shooter, is out today for the PSVR. And the PSVR is getting 4 exclusive songs, which are in the PlayStation's YouTube video that they put out today as well. Harmonix has been absent from the PlayStation 4 for a few years, but today it's marking its grand return with Audica, which is the Beat Saber type game, but with guns. Those of you who pick up Audica on the PSVR will gain access to 4 free songs exclusive to the platform. So the songs on the game, I don't recognize many of these songs, but the ones that you get for free are 5 Seconds of Summer, Youngblood, Ariana Grande, Into You, Billie Eilish, Bad Guy. Oh, I know that one. Imagine Dragons, Believer, I know that one. Post Malone, Better Now, I know that one as well. PSVR players also get these songs: ASMS, Reeds of Mitratrush, Darren Korb featuring Ashley Barrett, We All Become from the Transistor original soundtrack, James Egbert featuring Nina Sung, Exit Wounds, and James Landino, Funky Computer. What are the games on the original soundtrack, Yummy? Alright, so we have 1788, L and Blank, Destiny, 3 Lao featuring Ninja, Game Time, Alice in Wonderland, I Want You, AU5 and Fractal, Smoke, David Gruta featuring Saya, Titanium, Dead Mau 5, HR8938, Sephi, Raise Your Weapons, Noisa Remix, Dead Mouse 5, and Wolfgang Gartner, Channel 42, DJ Fresh featuring Miss Dynamite, Gold Dust, Donna Summer, I Feel Love, Dragon Force, Highway to Oblivion, Elixir, Eye for an Eye, Feed Me, To the Stars, Iggy Azalea featuring Zed, Boom Boom, Intersect featuring Noel Lembach and Naokio Takamoto, Decode Me, James Egbert, The Space, James Landino featuring Noel Lembach, Break For Me, Jeff Allen, Laserface, K-Duh featuring Madison Beer, G.I. Dial, and Jara Burns, Pop/Stars, Knife Party by Resistance, Nowhere by Overtime, Logic and Marshmallow, Everyday, Mason and versus Princess Superstar Perfect, Exceeder, MQ, Predator, Noisila, Collider, Odessa, Loyal, Orion, Time for Crime, Polyphia, Goat, Savant, Splinter, Symbian Project, which is in Harmonix Band, Synthesize, which is on Rock Band 4, Wolfgang Gartner, Ilmerica, Zed featuring Bahari, Addicted to a Memory, and Zed and Grey, Adrenaline. Boy, that was a lot of words, and I feel like I wasn't very clear on if they were songs. But guys, those are the songs on the game. Alright, Hideo Kojima wants his studio to make movies in the future. As you know, Hideo Kojima is a huge movie buff. He watches 1 movie a day, he claims. And with his new studio just finishing Death Stranding, he wants to move into movies. Speaking with BBC Newsbeat in a new documentary, it sounds like he will be exploring the idea of making movies later down the line. In the future, Kojima Productions will start making films, he says. If you can do one thing well, then you can do everything well. He continues to talk about the advent of streaming and gaming's place within it. Kojima posits the games, movies, and TV will be competing in the same space in the future, as the masses will have an on-demand access to everything. It'll certainly be interesting to see him go through and make movies. We'll see. A lot of his games, like Metal Gear Solid 3, as I played, have so many cutscenes, such long cutscenes. They really try to immerse you in the game. Death Stranding is coming out the 8th of November. Check it out if you want to. I'm going to be passing on it for right now, because I don't really have the funds right now to play games that I'm interested in, but not like fully invested in. And I'm definitely going to be picking up in the future, though. Okay, so Diablo 4 is set to have cosmetic microtransactions and paid DLC expansions. Diablo 4 was announced during BlizzCon, of course. And many people are saying, of course, there's going to be microtransactions, and they've just been confirmed. Microtransactions have been confirmed during a Twitch stream by Quinn69, who got to sit down and play an early build for at BlizzCon 2019. The streamer asks about in-game purchases and is told that you'll be able to buy cosmetic items with real money. Microtransactions, of course, can impact the flow of the game. The least of my worries is cosmetic items, but if there's weapons or enhancements or abilities or something like that locked behind a paywall, of course people are going to be up in arms. I think it was, of course there's DLC going to be with the game. I mean, I don't see how that's going to affect anything. As long as it's not day one DLC, I think we'll be okay. Diablo 4 doesn't have a release date yet, but people are already having concerns with the game. All right, talking about concerns with games, Anthem. The Anthem head of live services has departed BioWare. So there's not many people working on Anthem anymore, and the game has had one heck of a rough year since it was released early this year in February. Wow. It's pretty much been falling apart over the last few months, and I'm surprised not everyone's jumped off this game. So here's another bunch of bad news. So Chad Robertson, who is the head of live service at BioWare and one of the key voices behind Anthem, is leaving the developer next week. Robertson has been with the company for 14 years. He came out and said, "This is my last week with BioWare. I've been with the company for 14 years, and I'm grateful for everything I've been part of here." SWTOR, what is that? Star Wars The Old Republic, jeez. Anthem and the Austin studio and BioWare are in good hands. You can expect great things ahead, he wrote on Twitter. Of course, Chad, who knows where he's going to go from here, especially after a bad rap that Anthem got, but whatever. His departure just comes a few months after lead producer Ben Irving left the studio, so, we'll see if this is actually going to impact anything with the game. It's common for people to leave the production of a game after it's finished, but obviously Anthem is not finished. We'll see what happens in the future. All right, if you're still playing Singstar, the servers are going to go offline early next year. So Singstar was a big success on the PlayStation 2, and it maintained relevance on later consoles until the PS4 came around, and Sony's now shutting down the servers left and right for Singstar. So Singstar's online functionality is going to be switched off on the 31st of January 2020, and the announcement has been made via emails to users and the game's official website. You'll still be able to use or digitally purchase songs and games, but the Sing Store will become inaccessible for any PS3 and PS4 titles you own, and you'll only be able to play in offline modes. So we'll see if there's a new Singstar in production. I doubt it, since this game kind of died. There hasn't been a new game since 2014, but we'll see in the future if this actually comes back. Probably not. So EA Sports is possibly going to bring back NCAA football. They said they would bring it back in a heartbeat, as they say. So there's a lot of demand for NCAA football. My friend Nick, aka Greedy Waffle Shoutout, is a huge fan of NCAA, and he's the one who brought this to my attention. The series was last created in 2013, and after legislation in California has changed the rules of college players being paid, this might actually be a possibility now. EA Sports was forced to end their popular Madden alternative due to legal disputes surrounding player likeliness, but with new Fair Play Act, college stars will finally be able to earn money for appearing in titles such as Madden, NCAA, and of course being on the box of Wheaties. Andrew Wilson, the head honcho of EA, is monitoring the situation closely. "Our position is we would love to build a game," he told Jason Gay of the Wall Street Journal. "If there's a world where the folks who govern these things are able to solve for how to pay players for the use of their names and likeliness and stats and data, we would jump on the opportunity to build a game in a heartbeat." Of course, this isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to be probably a few years before we even get to see an NCAA make up the rounds at maybe an E3 or something like that. And who knows if we actually want EA Sports to make the NCAA game, seeing as Madden is a train wreck, but we'll wait and see. All right, so don't expect Dragon Age 4 to release until at least April 2020. So EA has provided an update in the development of Dragon Age 4, and it's not good news for anyone who's hoping to play the next big RPG anytime soon. It's probably going to be a PS5 and Project Scarlet game because it's not going to be released until 2020. Fiscal year of 2020, I should say. So in the latest earnings call, EA stated that the game's next entry is for Dragon Age franchise and is indeed in production, and it won't launch until the fiscal year of 2022. In layman's terms, this means that it won't hit PS5 until at least April of 2022. Originally announced at the Game Awards 2018 to follow up Dragon Age Inquisition, I think they shot their load a little bit too early. Either that or they had to kind of restart production, especially after the rough criticism that Anthem got. It's possible that Dragon Age 4 was going to be a kind of like an Anthem type game in the medieval times, but they probably are changing that up a little bit. All right. Nioh 2, or Nioh 2, is going to come to PlayStation 5 or 4 in March of 2020. It's probably going to be cross-play available. So after its early 2020 release window was outed last month in a leak, everyone's been waiting for official news on Nioh 2, and now we've got it. The sequel to 2017's Souls-like playing game is going to launch on the 13th of March 2020. That's just a few days away from Final Fantasy VII Remake is supposed to launch. So, they just, and like I just said a few, news articles ago, Nioh 1 is now available for free, so this is good timing for them. If you want to see a trailer for Nioh 2, there is one on PlayStation Europe and PlayStation America's YouTube channel right now. Looks kind of cool. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so Dying Light 2 is gonna reward you for being part of the community with free and paid DLCs planned. So if you don't recall, the original Dying Light released in January 2015. It was one of my favorite games of that year, and the following DLC that came out probably about a year later was well received by a lot of people. And the support is actually still going today for Dying Light 1. So, speaking to EGX 2019, the lead game designer Taimon Smektala told Push Square that its approach to DLC will be similar to the first game. I don't want to spill the beans too much, but yes, there will be a huge expansion, and yes, there will be a lot of additional drops, free content, additional missions, weapons, and gameplay mechanics that you will be able to get by just investing your time in Dying Light 2 and just being a part of the community. So we saw some gameplay for Dying Light 2 back at E3 times. Looked pretty good. There's a little bit of choice to be had when you're playing the game. Definitely looking to be a improved version of Dying Light 1, but we will have to wait and see, of course, with this one. Dying Light 1 was a great game, and I'm expecting big things from Dying Light 2, so we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so does anyone even care about Apex Legends? Should I just skip this news article? I guess we'll go through it. Apex Legends is going to be making a duos playlist available next month. It's going to be a limited time event where you can hop into the battle bus with only one other person and take on the squads in front of you. So there was a solo mode released a few months back, I think, but starting next week on the 5th of November, which was today, the new mode will be available for a limited time. Okay, so this is an older article. I apologize. So that means you'll have one less teammate at your side and even more squads put into the field to fight. So Apex Legends, of course, was the biggest streaming game. It took over Fortnite in popularity early this year, but of course it's kind of down or diminished in the past few months, and not many people are actually playing it anymore. But they're hoping to see some revitalized love with the Duos expansion, which is going to be a limited time event. Who knows when it's going to actually end, but we'll have to see. And finally, if you want to, you can enter in the win a new Terminator Dark Fate custom Xbox. Reviews for the movie have not been stellar, but hey, this Xbox is pretty cool. The Xbox includes a controller that looks like the chest plate of a Terminator, And also, the head of a Terminator is coming out of an Xbox, like a melted Xbox, or, like it kind of revives itself with the kind of liquid textures coming out of a black Xbox. Looks really cool. I believe the eye lights up as well. It'll also be included with it Gears 5 and the Gears 5 Grace and Rev 9 character pack from Terminator Dark Fate. It's a limited edition Xbox One, and you'll be able to enter in to win from now until the 15th of November. If you want to enter, I think you have to do is like, retweet, and comment on the Xbox contest tweet, and we'll see what happens. And they want you to say whether you're on the side of humanity or the machines. The winner will receive the Dark Fate Xbox One plus Gears of War 5 Ultimate Edition, the Terminator Dark Fate Character Pack, and the Terminator Dark Fate Character Pack featuring Sarah Connor and the T-800 will be included as well. The winner will also receive a second regular Xbox One X, one for playing and one for displaying. For more details on the giveaway, you can visit the rules page at www.terminatormovie.com. So that's actually a really cool console, and we'll see in the future if I end up entering into the contest. Probably not. All right, guys, thank you so much for showing up to this tear-filled episode. Tears shed for FaZe Jarvis. Thank you so much for listening to me rambling about Modern Warfare and other things. My voice is starting to fail me. I need a drink of water. Other than that, thank you for watching and or listening on whatever platform you're listening or watching on. Like I said in the past few episodes, I'm probably going to be switching platforms in the near future, so make sure you check in on that when I do an official post for that. Let's see, live stream this weekend, Saturday, starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be playing not really a new game, but a classic game from my childhood. So if you want to, you can check that out. I'm not going to be revealing what game it is, but it does start with a 00 and end with a 7. Or maybe it ends with an E. No, it ends with an R. Whatever. So if you want to, you can check me out on that day. Other than that, nothing else to report. We'll be playing more games and reviewing more games and making videos and stuff like that when I have the inspiration. Anyways, thank you for listening. Remember to check out Fubar Ferret, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode of YemmyCast, a video game podcast.